Go ahead and call the Tuesday, July 2nd meeting to order. Tonight our city attorney is not here, Tom Trask, but Bob Metz from his office is here. I'd ask you to rise. He's going to lead us in our pledge and our invocation.
Our Heavenly Father, we come humbly before you to ask your divine guidance and help in our deliberations this evening. Bless the members of this council and the citizens that are present at this meeting. We pray that our work this evening will find favor in your sight. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you once again. Thank you, Bob.
Yes.
Our first item on the agenda tonight is our citizens open forum. It gives you a chance to address the council. A couple of rules: state your name and address for the record. Keep it to no more than 5 minutes, and please do not address anything that is on tonight's agenda. Having said that, Mr. Walters, how are you? I didn't want you to speak. I just wondered how you were.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Council, Jerry Walters, 1108 Robinwood Drive. I just wanted to come forward. I won't be staying long for the meeting, so there's nothing I want to, talk on later. But I just wanted to be aware that I've been asked to come up here today because last meeting there was that issue of the Forest Lakes Plaza. I've had people approach me about the in and out, the exit and entrance into Forest Lakes Plaza, and when it was built, there was no problems. It was easier to get in and out. But now, because of the traffic north, the people coming in to work in the morning north of Tampa Road, and those coming down off of the from
Forest Lakes?
From
Racetrack, Linebaugh area?
Yeah, Linebaugh. See, it gets kind of tough when you get older. But the traffic in the morning is terrible, and the traffic in the afternoon is pretty bad, and even in between it's pretty bad too. And it was an issue that wasn't brought out, and I wasn't too sure, whether that was an issue at the time. But because people have approached me about it, I wanted to come forward and mention that. And it's just something that will probably become a problem or an issue in the future if we get a lot of stores in there and everything. Hopefully that we get a lot of stores, but it's just something that had to be addressed.
So is the question more about getting in and out of the plaza, or the cars being able to go to work, or was it more about accessing the plaza? Was their comments? Well,
the problem was the issue of the driving back and forth, when whatever might be the issue as far as people trying to get in or get out. There's only really one left-hand turn out of there and going up Forest Lakes Boulevard. And of course there is another one, but that's strictly for the trucks that would be delivering items. And even an issue about possibly having another entrance into Forest Lakes Plaza, but I know that there would be a problem with the state trying to put a area there that they could come off of Tampa Road, left-hand turn before the light, and I know that would really be a headache. But it's just something that people were concerned about.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else from this side of the room? Mr. Saraki.
Dan Saraki, 1743 Split Fork Drive, Oldsmar. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, council members. I'm here for Oldsmar Cares. I'm recently a new elected board of directors, and I'm kind of excited about the role. And I'm here today to just explain that we are doing a food drive. We have a need for some of the children in Oldsmar get assistance at the schools, the lunch programs, and the breakfast programs. And what we're doing is we're going to be donating or distributing blue bins with signage to the local businesses in the city of Oldsmar to try to obtain food to feed some of the children during the summer months, where we've noticed an increase in food need for the families. Oldsmar Cares is now open every Saturday to help with the families in need. And basically, there's also going to be a notice in our city water bill, and the chamber is also going to be helping us with this program. And if anybody has any other ideas or way they can help Oldsmar Cares, please contact me. Call my cell number at 813-928-7077. I'm going to be heading up this program with the local businesses to try to obtain more food for Oldsmar Cares, and that's about it. Any questions?
Is that something we can put on the website and maybe put the businesses that are there so people know where they could drop food off if they wanted to? Or at least put the program on there?
That'd be great.
I know, or at least to drop off at Oldsmar Cares or City Hall or the library. Don't we do that there?
We don't have any businesses that have officially signed up today. We just started it yesterday, but we want to get it promoted and start.
And that's
getting it
fine. Maybe the
going.
businesses could be separate. That way they can kind of do their own internal food drive and then they can drop it at public places in the city. So, okay, terrific.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the room? Seeing some nobody, we'll close the citizens open forum. The first item tonight is our
Jerry raised his hand, but
Oh.
gave up on you.
Go ahead, Jerry. Should have been quicker.
Because you're going to do it anyhow. Jerry Cuts
Jerry.
on State Street West, huh?
Don't feel bad. He does that to me quite often.
I just want to say Oldsmar is a great place to work and play because of charity. And we have one more charity thing, which you're probably going to say anyhow, but I'll go ahead and do it. Holiday Sharing Fund, we get the softball game Saturday at Bright House Field, 4 o'clock. Tickets $16.50. Get you into the charity softball game. Basically, our Deputy Rick Serra has arranged that through a holiday sharing program. So we'll be playing the police. The mayor will be playing, and most of the fire department will be playing there. Get you into that game, the Phillies, the Threshers game after that. 5 innings of all you can eat and $2 beers, and watch the fireworks. So it's another great thing to do that. So if you don't get your tickets either at the chamber, you can get them at the game, and we'll hope to see a lot of people there.
A great event. How many years is this? Third? This is our third year?
This is our 5th or 6th.
Oh, fourth.
Well, 4 with the police, and we did 2 before that too.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's our 6th year.
We're pretty much 0-4 against you guys, aren't we?
Exactly.
That's going to change this year, buddy. Anybody else in the room? I'll close the citizens open forum. Our first is the Community Redevelopment Agency. We have 4 items on the consent docket. Approve the minutes of the April 2nd, 2013 City Council meeting. Accept the resignation of John Burns from Code Enforcement Board. Authorize the city manager to advertise for bids for trail construction, Phase 3 and 5. Authorize the city manager to advertise for bids for Marlborough and Pine Avenue stormwater improvements. Does anybody wish to pull anything?
No.
If not, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you. Next is the City of Oldsmar. Consider the reappointment of Tom Eckert to the Planning Board. Tom is here. Come on up to the podium, Tom. As you know, one of the things that we like to do, and we have a new council member, is to have you come up before us and kind of address the board so we can put a name to a face. Because a lot of the boards we don't get to see except for the annual meeting, and we don't really know who they are. But is there any questions that you might have for the council?
None at all. Just keep up the good work.
Any questions of Tom?
No,
No.
just thank you.
Yeah, thanks again.
I want to be like Drake Custom when I get real old.
I don't know what that means, but I need a motion to approve Tom.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Thank you. The next item is consider moving Quyen Trujillo from the alternate.
Trujillo.
Huh?
Trujillo.
Trujillo. From an alternate member to full member of the Code Enforcement Board. Are we here?
Yes, she is. Yeah.
Oh, hello. There you are. Hi. Oh, I've met you. See, now I get to put a name with a face. And exactly. Well, thank you so much again for that. And now you have major responsibility now. You're not an alternate member. You're prepared for that.
That's right.
Do you have any questions of us?
I do not.
Do you have any questions of her?
No.
Thank you again, and thanks for coming tonight.
Thanks.
I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes 5-0. Thank you. Next is our city attorney.
No report from me, except Tom's enjoying his vacation, and he
Fishing, I take it.
yeah, he caught a 7-foot lemon shark the other day. Sent us a picture of that, and happy to be here filling in for him
Oh, where's he at? I hope it's raining.
down in the Keys.
Oh, and he's getting, yeah. So they're getting rain. My friends are down there, so I know it. I keep getting reports, so. But next is our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The next item, authorize the city attorney to prepare an ordinance establishing plan unit development overlay zoning for Hayes Park Cottages. I know the council's familiar with the project. The development agreement was approved at the last meeting. We did include the staff report in your agenda packet, but we would ordinarily present that at the next meeting, assuming that you go ahead and authorize the city attorney to prepare the ordinance. Then at the first reading, we'll have a complete presentation and hearing. The property, I think, as I said, you're familiar with the project. It's still 52 units. The site plan's already been approved, and the PUD overlay zoning will make a better fit for this project on this particular piece of property. So tonight I'm requesting that you authorize the city attorney to prepare that rezoning ordinance to establish PUD overlay zoning on the property.
Anything from staff or the applicant? I see both are here. No? Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye, passes 5-0. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mayor and Council, the next item, approve renewal of annual use agreement with Oldsmar Youth Soccer Association. Youth Soccer Association Incorporated. This is for facilities at Canal Park. The use agreement is for a period of 1 year. The only thing changed from the current agreement are the dates. The agreement would be in effect from August 19th to May 2nd of 2014. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to respond to those. I recommend approval of the annual use agreement with Oldsmar Youth Soccer Association Incorporated.
Does anybody have any questions?
Nope.
If not, I need a motion.
So moved.
I need a second.
A second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor and Council, item 9, approve renewal of annual use agreement with Oldsmar Falcons Youth Football and Cheerleading Incorporated. This is also an annual use agreement for facilities at Canal Park. It covers the upcoming season from July to November of this year. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to respond to those. The only thing that has changed from the previous agreement are the dates, and I recommend approval of an annual use agreement with Oldsmar Falcons Youth Football and Cheerleading Incorporated.
Does anybody have any questions? If not, need a motion.
So,
Motion, need a second?
second.
Second. Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor and Council, the next item, authorize the city attorney to prepare a resolution establishing an administrative fee for red light camera hearings. At the last council meeting, the council adopted a resolution in conformance with state law that was amended earlier this year, providing for violators who wish to appeal the violation from a red light camera infraction. The city needs to establish its own hearing process for that. Under the law that existed previously, those who wanted to appeal the violation went to traffic court. Now they'll have an opportunity to come before a hearing officer. The council last meeting approved the hearing officer, authorized the city clerk to provide services for the hearings. And the other part of the change to the law is that we need to establish an administrative fee for the cost of providing these hearings. And I would recommend that the fee be in the $100 to $150 range. It does need to cover our cost, which, of course, there's the cost of the hearing officer, but the administrative and clerical support for the operation, postage, mailing, copying, all that stuff goes into it as well. And the other part is, well, just a couple of things that go into that figure that I would recommend, that $100 to $150, is that I think you want to have some relationship of what That's saying the punishment fits the crime, so to speak. And then also, we want to keep in mind that there should be, some burden on the violator to, we would not want to encourage everyone to file an appeal or request a hearing, that sort of thing. So throwing all that into the mix, tonight is to authorize the city attorney to prepare the resolution, and then it will come back to you for consideration or adoption at the next meeting. I'm sure the city attorney would appreciate it if you can, kind of agree on the number tonight.
Yes,
But here
of
again, you're
course.
not adopting the resolution till the
Do we
next.
have a feel for what that number?
I would suggest $100 because for two reasons. Reason one, we're not in it to make money.
No, I agree.
And well, that's what's going to happen.
Sure.
Not in it to make money. And I agree with the city manager that they need to bear the burden, but also we need to be able to pay the cost. And we talked about it, and I think $100.
Do we have a feel?
I have to agree.
Do we have a feel for kind of what the hard costs are that we would incur?
Our estimate's $107. Everything is estimated because we haven't done it before.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Always change it, right?
We can change it in a year.
well, and let me ask this. I mean,
$125 then.
well, let me just ask my question because we don't really know because we haven't done this, but there are going to be costs that if the person wins, we don't get anything back, and we've had the burden of paying the magistrate and the city clerk and whoever else is involved in doing the mailing. So I don't know what those percentages are, but they're, even though it's 107, it's 107 for every one of them. But if we're only getting 50%, then, we're absorbing some costs that we're maybe not getting money back for.
But the way we're doing it, we're pretty sure, because if there's a doubt, it goes to the driver out there with these red light cameras.
Agree.
It goes to the driver. So we're pretty sure, or we should be sure, that when they come and they contest it, they're going to lose. We would hope.
We would hope, but I got to think that we're not going to be 100%. So we don't want the city to burden costs that we're not recouping, whether it's through an added amount to each individual one that covers the ones that we don't, and I don't know if it's 125, 150,
I think
but
125 is fair because I don't think that the burden should be on the people that choose to come in front and contest it. I don't think that
I agree.
that should have anything to do with it. If we have some that we aren't getting the administration fee paid on, then we need to talk to the police officers that are
That's why.
reviewing the tapes and tell them to be a little more careful.
Why don't we put in
Actually, they have
125
been.
and then.
Right. And I think Jerry's got a good point. I think that they probably let a lot more go.
Oh, sure.
Than they do.
Lonnie does, I know, I watched him do it.
Make a change. I mean, can make it change at any time if we determine it's.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
once we get into it and we see how much time we're really spending.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to make it 107 at an estimate,
I have
125 already covers us a little.
I have a real problem with the media making it sound like we're making a ton of money off of this, when in fact, the state's making a ton of money off. What do we pay them, 70%? And then you have to pay the company, and there's not that much left for the city, so.
Well, I think it's a consensus at 125.
I'm fine.
I
Everybody
agree.
fine with
I agree.
125?
I
There's your
agree.
number, 125.
Yeah.
I would even
Mr.
say
Metz
less,
is going to
but-
put that into the
I need
resolution.
a motion to approve the
You got
city
it.
attorney to get a resolution.
You got it.
Got it. Need a second?
Second.
Motion a second. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Thank you. City clerk. Oh, I'm sorry. Anything else?
That's it for tonight. Thank you.
City clerk.
Well, this is exciting.
I knew you were going to have something.
See, normally a public information officer tends to be reactive. So when something comes up and we have to inform the community about something, it's in reaction to an event. So we're trying to be a little bit more proactive in sending a message out there. So last year we recorded something and we were having trouble finalizing it and stuff like that. But it came together. And so I'd like to present to you now our very first public service announcement challenging some of those things about hurricanes. Here you go.
What, no signal?
Come up, here you go.
Hurricane.
Coming to you live from Oldsmar, Florida, XYZ News and Action reporter, I'm Adawa Thomas.
This is I'm Adaline Thomas with XYZ Enact News in Action. Today, I'm here with City of Oldsmar Chief Dean O'Neill. Hi, Chief. How are you doing?
Hello, Emma. How are you today?
I'm doing well. We've been getting calls down at the station that you've been urging the public to be prepared for a hurricane. Is there any truth to this rumor?
Absolutely. We always want people to be ready for hurricane season.
But Chief, have you ever seen a hurricane in Pinellas County?
The last time Pinellas County had a direct impact from a hurricane was in 1921. But the important thing to remember is it only takes one. The goal is for us to always be prepared. We want people to understand that it's important they have a plan, register for Code Red, and have a go bag ready at all times.
There's a reason Safety Harbor is called Safety Harbor. It's home to ancient Indian burial grounds, and doesn't that protect us? Aren't you afraid that urging the public to be prepared is only going to cause unnecessary purchases and widespread panic?
Well, now, being prepared is not just for hurricanes. It's also for electrical outages, water outages, wildfires. We can use that same concept for other emergencies. The important thing is to remember to have a plan, register for Code Red, and have a go bag ready.
Have you ever seen a hurricane? How do you know they exist?
I never have seen a hurricane, but I have seen the damage that they cause, and we don't want to see that in our city. We want people to understand how important it is for them to have a plan, register for Code Red, and have their go bag ready at all times.
Do you think an alien force field is protecting us? Why haven't we ever been hit?
Well, we've been very fortunate up till now, but remember, the longer it is from the last hurricane, the closer we are to the next one. So let's have a plan. Let's register for Code Red, and let's have our go bags ready.
Well, folks, there you have it. According to Chief O'Neill, our luck may have run out and aliens may not be protecting us any longer. So he advises us all to have a plan, make reservations at Club Med, and take a bag.
That's great. That's cute. That's great. You wrote it. That's great. I'm a
That was good. Let me tell you something. In 1967, I held my window in. I had to hold my front window in for an hour, like this.
Did you have a bad bag packed?
No, but I'll tell you what. Once it was over with, I had to replace the window because it was 1983.
I was going to just say that.
Camille, wasn't that, what was it?
That was Donna.
Donna?
No, Camille was way away from us.
Oh.
In 1988.
I think it was
1983, okay.
What was the no-name storm? Was that 83?
83.
Elena,
That's the night I got married.
Elena,
Taking that as a hint.
the waves were beating on my front door this high
Yeah.
and went through the house that way. Now, that was the only, in 50 years, almost 50 years, that's the only hurricane that really got us. Be prepared, gang.
Yeah, but even tropical storms.
Because
I have waves hitting
the
my
water-
house with tropical storms.
The water is damaging, but the winds are worse. The winds are horrible. Y'all ever learned that?
Gotta be in Zone A.
We learned that. The winds are horrible. They were
But the
coming
video-
up today 100 miles an hour. So anyway, good. It was great.
Yeah.
I watched it the other day for the first time. You showed me. I didn't realize her name was I'm a Doubting Thomas. She did a great job. Kudos to everybody that put that together.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That
When's
was
that gonna?
really
It's gonna
cute.
play on our station.
Play on our station, we're going to put on YouTube, and we'll have links, and then we're going to focus a little bit on that utility billing insert.
So that means Safety Harbor will get to see it too, huh?
Yes, it will.
They're actually watching our videos. I talked to the mayor over there, and he's taking our casual day, and they're gonna try it over there and see how it works. They've never done that, so. What's up, Safety Harbor? Anything else?
That's all.
That's all. Next is the City Council. First is consider establishing a no parking zone at the intersection of Trout Lane and Canal Way. I just want to note that this is different than the one that came before. We had this discussion about a council member putting something back on the council that they lost on, and what was on the agenda last time was not what he had asked to be put on. Therefore, you're asking for this to be put on again.
Okay, what I'd like to do is kind of preface why I'm bringing this back. There is a reason. When I brought it before, there was a request made of me if I would approach the council or somehow for no parking signs at the bend of Trout and Canal Way. And I said, only, I said, I'd be happy to, but only if you get the okay from the board.
Homeowners association.
Okay, they got the okay from the board, and I said then I would do it. So I brought it to council. When it come to the city, it got corrupted. What I wanted to do got corrupted, and what finally ended up here was not what I had requested. So, but let me tell you why I'm bringing it back. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. Okay, in 1990, I remember on the old council chambers, it was full of residents from Gullier Village that was mad, unbelievably upset. The city had actually, and this was not the city manager's problem, this was the council before us in 1990. Gullier was never paid attention to, never. And so when I went out there to campaign, Gullier actually put me in office in 1990. So when they came in, and they were mad that night, and I told them at that time, Bruce will remember this. In fact, I got mad because there was a couple of the residents out there that just jumped all over me after I said that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I said, I'll tell you what, if I don't do what I say I'm going to do, then vote me out at the next election. Throw me out. So anyway, I told him, I said, people, this council in the 80s didn't pay a bit of attention to anybody in Gullier Village, which they didn't. A lot of times the council in the 80s didn't pay attention to anybody. And of course, I think when we finally got a city manager in 86, it was 86, right? That finally was professional, things changed, but until then, it wasn't. So I put together a program to pave the streets here in town, and they had a major drainage problem in Gullier, a major drainage problem, and a major road problem with the help of the city manager. By the time the next election came up, we had spent, it was a couple $100,000, maybe almost $400,000. It was quite a bit of money. We fixed the drainage out there. We fixed the streets. Now, what I'm telling you is when I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Okay. There's been many, in fact, the matter is, again, thanks to the help of the city manager, when Buckner turned on the residents of Gullier Beach, I went and fought for the residents out there and got them $5,000 from the city that we didn't really need to give them, and I went out there and we presented it to the president of the homeowner association at that time, and that $5,000 went to the rec center. Okay. I've helped a lot of people in Gullier Village. They've come to me, they've asked me. And if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And that's why I'm doing this tonight. If the council votes this down, that's fine. But I kept my promise to the individuals that I said I was going to do this. I would do the same thing for any resident, and I have, of Gullier Village, or Bayview, or where you live, or where anybody lives. That's the way I am. I'm going to bring it to a conclusion. I may lose the conclusion, that's fine, but I kept my promise. And my promise is that I would bring it before council for no parking, just at that corner of Trout and Gullier Village, and that's why I'm doing it. And I would do it for you, for anybody in this city. I'm going to keep my promise of what I tell you I'm going to do.
And I think that's fine. I think it needed to be heard the way it was presented to you, and you asked that it be put on the agenda. I don't know how it got so sideways, but it did. And this is not a public hearing. We among council will have some discussion. Is there anybody from Gullier that would like to speak for it or against it? Because we did have some dialogue last time, yes, sir, about this, and we kind of had decided to table it, but it's a different item now.
I didn't speak the last time. My name is Anthony Lamarca, and I live at 538 Canal Way, and I'm fairly new here. And I was at the last meeting that you had, and you discussed the same situation. And it was a little anticlimactic for me because it seemed like the panel left it to the board at Gullier to do something about it.
And if I can tell you why, and Councilmember Beaverland kind of addressed that, he had asked for it to be placed at one intersection and one intersection only. When it came before the council, it was 3 different areas all throughout Golair, which the board of Golair had not approved that. They had only approved, if I'm correct, they had only approved what Mr. Beaverland had said, which was the one intersection. So we were apples and oranges. The board did not approve what came before us.
All right, so I was a little confused then, because I went through your website and I pulled up the original information.
Don't worry about that, because that has nothing to do with tonight. That should never have been brought before this council, but it was.
We are not considering the 3. The only thing is at this intersection, that's the only thing we're considering tonight.
Okay, and my only thing is that, is this intersection, is it more of a nuisance or is it a safety issue?
I think it's a little
well,
They
beach.
requested it of you, so.
We had a petition.
Is it a nuisance claim or is it a real safety situation?
With that corner, it's actually a nuisance and a safety for the fire trucks have a hard enough time
I know it.
turning that thing.
All of Gallia has a bad time. If you're looking at intersections, I think there are more vulnerable intersections in Gallia than the one you're discussing now,
Well, this is not,
what they asked for.
this is not really an intersection. This is that.
the curve.
But why it's before us, because we had a petition to bring it before council. That's why it's here.
Okay. All right.
That answers
Just want to be
And if there are
enlightened.
other intersections, the board in Golair, when everybody comes back, Golair can
Okay.
address
Because
those.
I happen to live at the red line, and I don't know who keeps on drawing the red line, but the red line got smaller, and you still got me in the red line, and I'm further back.
Well, it's only, it should be only 2 houses each way.
Yeah. And I hate to use that terminology, red line.
Is one of your houses the one that it's in front of?
Pardon?
Is your house in front, if you look at the photograph, is your house one of,
This is like right
is
there.
the no parking zone in front of your house?
I'm the last one at the bottom of the loop of the red line.
Well, that red line's wrong. If that's the original red line, that red line is wrong because they went too far. It's only 2 houses each way.
Right.
It looks like it's 2 houses on the Trout Way, but it looks like it's, well, if you count the 2 in the corner, obviously, it looks like it's 5 houses on Canal.
Yeah.
But those 2 in the corner,
But
you can't
two are
really
in the
count.
corner, right.
But it goes 3 that are actually on the parallel. Is that
It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the corner.
Yeah.
2 on Trout and 5 on Canal?
Do you want to look at the updated one?
There shouldn't be
I'm
5.
the third one. I'm the last one on Canal.
Is that what you had asked? Is that what you're asking, Jerry?
It won't go down, it won't go down as far as this red line is showing.
See the house with the, what looks like the red roof, Jerry? Are you talking about the house across the street from that?
Yeah.
See the house with the red roof,
You take the
or
one
whatever
right on
color
the
that is,
corner.
brown?
I see
One-
3 beige
Count
roofs.
that
Beige.
one, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 4 houses on Canal. That 5th house should
I
not
have some
be,
other discussion
should not be
about it
included in
next
this.
So the house across from the beige house,
Yeah,
from the
Yeah.
beige roofed house?
yeah, right. The house across from the beige roof house should not be in this.
So my question is if the no parking zone is in front of your house, are you objecting to a no parking zone in front of your house, or are you for a no
For the
parking
safety
zone?
feature, I have no qualms about it.
So you're okay with the no parking zone in front of your house as long as it doesn't go too
I'm
far?
okay with the safety feature.
Safety feature.
Of the thing. But if you've got a nuisance problem and you've got people arguing against other people,
Right.
Well, we don't
don't
want to
bring
get,
me in on it because
yes, we don't want to get into
I
that.
have oxygen trucks that come once a week to deliver oxygen to the house. My kids visit. I want them to be able to come and park in front of my house.
Well, if that's your house won't be affected.
That's okay. All right.
Which house is his?
Oh, he lives there.
Thank you.
I think he's here.
Which one? Across from the beige?
This is 541. So
Can we,
39.
can he?
They don't run that way in Golair.
Anybody else?
That were right next to each
Yep,
other.
yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Linda Froelich, and I live at 592 Canal Way.
All right.
And guess what's in front of my house? No parking zone. And I guess I'm having a little bit of a problem with it because I think there's a lot of nuisance in there that's kind of been cleared up,
Oh, yeah.
okay? And all of a sudden tonight, I see that there was a petition that went around to bring this up. People
Can I
signed
stop
it.
you for just 1 second? Ann, can you take your thing down there with the picture on it so we can know which houses we're talking about? Or somebody with the picture? Because they can't see. And I'm confused on which house he lives in, and I want to make sure that I understand which houses everybody's in.
Let me tell you,
We're right across the street
Kathy,
from
if
each
Kathy
other.
can share hers, or,
the petition came a long time ago.
Yeah, and I understand that. It was never brought to me. I never signed it, and now I'm included in this.
okay, if
You should
If you
be.
could tell us what
if
house.
you could tell us which,
House is yours.
Where are we? Right there.
Oh, she's the beige house.
the beige
One with the
on,
beige roof.
the beige on Canal,
On the lake side,
On
on the
the-
pond side.
On the lakeside.
on the lakeside, okay.
Okay.
And which one is he?
He's right across the street from me.
So he's
Okay, so it's
the
those,
Canal.
okay, so it's
Right
those
at
two.
the end of it.
I just want to make sure that we're clear on what,
Yeah. And, he's got problems because of the oxygen people coming in. I have a problem. My mom lives in the park. She's going to be 89 years old. Yes, she still drives. She doesn't walk real well. She needs to be able to park close to my house. Or in front of my house. Or in
understood.
front of my drive.
Okay. So you're the beige roof and he's the one across the street, okay?
Thank
So
you.
I have a concern for
So
that.
let me ask you this, if it was not in front of your house, which it sounds as though, is that correct? You're asking it to be pulled back? From those two.
Are you the beige house?
Yeah, she's the beige roof.
See, the no parking should not even go there. It should go.
That
Stop
one-
right at their houses,
That one and the one
probably.
across the street is the request, okay?
Yeah, the beige house should not be affected at all.
Does it, if it's modified, the line is modified that it does not go in front of the beige house and the house across the street, are you for the no parking or against the no parking?
I'd be for.
Okay.
Okay.
Because, it's right on the curve is where the problem is.
Sure, and you're there, you experience it, that's why we want to know, okay?
That was my intent, the whole thing.
But this is
just the
not the
corner.
old one, this is the new one.
And we understand, that it's drawn incorrectly or else we're going to modify it tonight
That's
if
the
we.
old drawing, though, that's wrong.
is the one we just
The only thing I was concerned about, I know it is, but it's still wrong.
Okay.
The only thing I was concerned with is that corner right there, that corner.
Understand, okay.
That's 591.
Yes, sir.
The address is 591.
My name's George Comey. I'm Vice President at Gully Village, the homeowner association. And I sent an email back out. We thought this was tabled at the last one, naturally. And I believe the council received some of the comments from the board. I don't know if you read them or not, but
We received 2.
you should have received about 4.
No, we didn't.
Well,
I may receive.
Okay, but on this, on the matter that's before us tonight.
The board is not for this. What they were for was doing something at that corner when we had the car. I think everybody remembers the car problem. Those people in, I guess she's got 440. Well, anyways, they used to park. They
that's been
parked in
taken
the
care of.
driveway. They used to park in front of the house. It really made the corner a problem.
It did.
Sure.
With your help, we got it cleaned up. Rick Serra's help, and it's not much of a problem right now, I don't think. And the board was a little set back when we got this thing because, we're not in favor of it right now.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
On the matter tonight before us, are you speaking as an individual or are you speaking for the board?
I could speak for the board because three out of the 5, I know we have a no vote for this.
Okay,
So
I just want to make sure
that's
that.
a majority.
I just want to make sure
Yes.
that you're speaking.
Yeah, that would be a
individually for the board.
majority. So three out of us 5. The other 2 really didn't comment, other than Andrea, who was a treasurer, said that that's the corner where the junk car was, and I said yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that was the third one we got.
Yeah.
And can I ask one more question?
Yes.
How many board members are there?
5.
For disclosure, are any of those 5 members affected by any of this action? Do they live there?
Right here.
You live at where are you?
Absolutely, right next to Tony.
I don't know Tony.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Your picture here, that's his house.
So you're the 4th one from the corner, from the end, from that
Yeah, 1,
end.
2, 3, 4, yeah, and he would be 5. Now, it just puts a burden on me. I mean, the person that started this, I do believe, that went to Jerry, his driveway is big enough to park 4 cars in, you know?
I don't know.
And he has a hard time, Mr. Fargus.
Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, with your, would you bring that up here?
Sure.
Are we having full discussion here? Are we?
No, I was just trying to understand that, yeah.
I know the
that it's
people
affected by is for it and who's against it.
backing out, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. If anything, it should only affect right here.
Yeah.
I never anticipated no parking signs being put on this side. It's just right here. And
Okay. It's tough to do that from here because nobody else can see what's going on.
I understand.
It's right on that curve.
Right.
and it's
Just on that curve.
This side,
Understood.
right on
On
that
the
curve.
outside of the curve. That's the only place
So
I said,
you
okay.
personally and as the board are not in favor of the no parking, period?
No, but we did agree to something that could make, you know, at one time, the corner safer when we did have the junk car there and all that stuff.
Yeah, you brought that up.
Yeah.
I would say just like Linda, if it's not in front of her house, she isn't opposed to it. Well, I'd be the same way. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's why I wanted to make sure we understood that you are one of the ones that are affected by this.
Yeah, I mean, as long as, I do have a fire hydrant partially in front of my house, so we really don't park much there anyways, but.
Well, it won't be in front of your house, right?
Well, it is now, but what you just drew wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Well, we'll discuss that amongst us once we hear from everybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
But you personally and you as the board are saying no.
yes.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Pat Comey. I'm George's wife. I live at 539 Canal Way. What we really need on that corner is there is no street sign, Trout and Canal. And if we had a stop sign facing the Trout Lane side, then nobody could park there and it wouldn't be an issue.
Ah.
You're talking about in front of the corner lot with the long.
We have no
parking
street
area.
sign.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And if somebody put a stop sign going towards Trout Lane, then they wouldn't be able to park there anyway, and that would remain open.
But I'm just saying that lot there is the bigger problem lot, is what you're saying, is people are parking on that side because it's mainly grass. And I did see in a picture that they had like white poles. I think it's Mrs. LeBlanc's house. I don't know how old that picture is. But do you still have that? Is it to prevent people from parking there?
We just can't talk from the audience. Hold on.
Okay.
If she's going to, so you're also against it as well?
I am against it. We have a very small driveway, and if somebody comes to visit us, we have no place to park.
And which house is yours? I'm sorry.
539.
She's the fourth.
She's.
I am against it as it stands right
No, that's the
now.
other guy. That's the
That's
Comey
his
guy.
That's her. There.
Oh,
I'm George's
okay,
wife.
gotcha.
That's George. That's George's wife.
I live in the same house.
Got it. I was like, wait a minute, he said that was his house.
So as it stands, I'm opposed to it as it stands,
As it's presented tonight.
as it is presented.
Even if we modified it down one house, it would still be in front of your.
There's no need if you put a stop sign.
Understood, but that's not what's before us right now, so, but we'll address that in a minute. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am, we'll let her, since she,
I'm the one that started all this, just so everybody knows.
He did sign the petition.
I'm Anne Marie LeBlanc, and I live at 591 Canal Way. I'm the house that's directly on the corner of Canal Way and...
next to the beige roof, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Canal Way and Trout. And the problem was with my neighbors on Trout, this is what started the whole thing, because they were parking all the way adjacent to my home on Canal Way, and it's a 90-degree turn. There are elderly people driving golf carts. A lot of these elderly people, surprisingly, hopefully to you folks, who have allowed the golf carts in there, and I think this is a privilege. A lot of the people are just pushing their luck on these privileges because there are teenagers that I know would not be licensed being allowed to drive those golf carts with little toddlers sitting on the back seats, no belts, no nothing. I've gone out and I've shouted to a couple of them that they should not be driving those carts and take them home to your grandmother and let her drive you around. But in any case, it is an accident waiting to happen. And the home across the street on Trout that's adjacent to mine, And I've known, because there are 2 residents in there that have told me they are running an internet business and they are running an income tax business. And that's not allowed, but there's nothing we can do because we can't actually prove it. But through the end of January to the end of April, or the tax season, at times there are 4 or 5 cars parked bumper to bumper along Canal Way. The only way you can get around that corner is if you're on the wrong side of the street and turn on to Canal Way. You're coming up Trout, you've got to be on the wrong side of the street to turn on to Canal Way. And it's an accident waiting to happen. The UPS trucks go around there half a dozen times a day, and FedEx, they're in there on a daily basis. There are lawn maintenance companies that park their equipment along that area, and it's a problem. I have no problem with the no parking along Trout Lane adjacent to my home. I don't know that it needs to be done on the opposite side of the street from that. It doesn't need to be taken on to Canal Way at all, in my opinion, but if you want to extend it in front of my home, I'm all right with that situation. Ms. Froelich is my next-door neighbor, and I can't see that it needs to be extended onto her house. As far as a stop sign there, I can't see that a stop sign is going to stop anything. It's going to make people stop. It's not even an intersection. It's just a 90-degree turn. I don't think a stop sign is necessary there. I can't see that it's going to stop or be any kind of an issue. There's a fire hydrant there. There shouldn't be parking allowed there anyway. And a stop sign isn't going to, what's it going to do? It's going to make people stop. They can still park there if they wish, and that's going to just make the problem come over to the other side of the street.
So just for clarification, you are in favor of a no parking area yet to be fully defined? Right.
And I have a letter from the resident at 541 who is also, because he's got to drive down that side of the street to get into his...
what?
That would be Canal Way. Okay. And that's the one that's right directly across. He's got to go through there, and if he has to be on the wrong side of the street going up Trout to get into his driveway when the cars are parked along the side of my house.
Okay.
So, and I'm for that. I have a letter from him, and I also have a letter, if you folks want to read this or look into it or whatever, with their opinions on this. One of them is for it, the other one is not. Again, they're talking about company, but all of those homes up in that area, we all have a driveway, and every one of those driveways has room for 2 cars parked in the driveway. And if anybody's going to have a party or anything going on, there's no reason why they can't tell their company, park in the clubhouse parking lot. There are over 100 parking spots down there, to the best of my knowledge. You can park down there, and wherever your company, you can go down and pick them up. That's going to solve the parking problem, in my opinion.
Okay.
I have a question for
Yes.
you. Is the house with the supposed alleged internet company and tax company the same house that had the junk car in front of it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, well, the car was parked adjacent to mine, but it was kind of in front of theirs, yes, yeah, on the wrong side of the street, in other words.
Do you know whether or not the one other house that's affected? I'd like to know if they're a yes or a no. I guess it would be next door to the Coneys.
Okay.
And next door to your friends, the one in between.
Okay,
it.
so be
Direct across
well,
from
there's
you.
one of them across from me.
Across the street from you.
Yes, well, across the street from me on Canal Way, one of them is for it, one of them is against it.
Okay, so
Okay.
this.
But they're just against the no parking in front of their homes on Canal. They are not against the parking on Trout.
Okay.
They agree that should remain the way, that it should be no parking along Trout.
I can
Okay.
revise my,
Let's hear what it is, and then let's just.
because I agree that Trout is the one that needs the problem.
Okay, let's just hear from them, and then we'll discuss it
Want
amongst
these
ourselves.
letters?
You can get them to our city clerk if you'd like. Thank you, anybody? Yeah, one briefing, you got to come to the podium now.
Gabby, I'm assuming she's talking about this one. That's a no.
Just let him make his, go ahead.
That is
So I
more or
apologize.
less what we agreed to in the beginning.
Right.
And when it came up, I believe it was Janet Pierce that came out, and I was talking to her out in the street. And it was a stop sign. Why we keep mentioning the stop sign is because she said when there's a stop sign, they'd put a sign further back, more or less right along the strip that she's talking about. No parking from here to corner.
Okay.
That area there, I see no problem. There's no houses there. You're not going to affect anybody except people across the street.
Okay.
So that's
Okay,
all I
thank
had
you.
to say.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Bob Felmer, I'm at 542 Canal Way. I'm the one with the big driveway.
In the corner?
Yes, the corner. We're for it. We would just like to see it. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Trout Lane is the one we have the problem with. And anything on Canal Way, there's no parking problem, so it's just on the corner of Trout.
And it's just on one particular side next to her house? Is that what I'm
Yes, it'd be on
understanding?
the east side of us.
Okay,
And he signed the original petition.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, it's not really a public hearing, but we'll take no more public input.
I can make-
Jerry Beaverland.
I'll make a motion that we okay this with the stipulation that the no stop signs go on Trout Lane to the corner.
Can I make a suggestion?
Go ahead.
Is it before? One of the things I thought about was Mrs. LeBlanc's house, which is 591, correct, which is the corner house with the lake behind it. She signed the original petition. And then directly across from her, Bob's house and Tom's house, those two corner ones with the long driveways, they also signed the original petition. They don't have a parking problem because they have a long driveway.
That's house 1 and 2.
That's house 1 and 2 in the corner.
Yep.
And then Ann's house directly across,
Mhm.
which solves the Trout Lane and the two original people that signed the petition, and then potentially the junk car house.
That's right. That was my motion.
Okay, I spelled it out for you.
Thank you.
I agree. Then you solve, and I have the addresses, it's 541, 542 Canal, and 591 Canal, and then 543 Trout, which was the junk car house. And it's just the V right there in the corner, and then the junk car, which is just the house to
And
the
then
right.
the other part of Canal Way, it won't affect anybody.
Correct. Yeah, because they all have
Correct.
such short
That's
driveways.
my motion.
I second it. Gabby can second it.
That's not clear at all.
No, it's not. It's
not
not
clear?
real clear.
Do you want to walk around?
No.
I want you to describe it in feet or by houses. How you got this map is Mr. Beaverland, last meeting, said it should be 2 houses in each direction.
I'm changing
And that's
that.
what's shown on here. Well, that's fine, but so far, I don't think we could implement that motion.
We can't, we have no boundaries on what we're motioning. I don't.
2 houses on Trout that way in the corner on
But 2
Canal.
houses on Trout, she's actually on Canal, so 2 houses on Trout would take it way back.
I'm just saying
One
her
house
lot.
on Trout.
Her lot, which is Canal and Trout, that corner.
Do we have a paper drawing?
I can draw you one.
No, just some, can we
Well,
have?
you can pick Mrs. LeBlanc's house, and you can say that no parking would exist. She has frontages on 2 streets, and it would match that. If that's what you're trying to do.
Well, no, not really, because
I don't know
we
if that's
got-
what you're trying
Yeah,
to
I
do.
mean, I know Tom's not here, but Bob, maybe Bob can, you said it was only Trout was the problem, correct? So there's no one parking in front of your house that's a problem, right? It's not an issue on your side of the street, it's on the
We
opposite
define
side.
it on this, so we know what we're motioning.
I'm sorry, I just want to get some clarification on.
Where the junk car was parked is on Trout, and that's where we have problems getting into our.
But are they
Two houses
parking
on Trout,
in front of
but
their
these is
driveway, or are
2
they
houses on
parking
Trout, too.
on, basically
right
across
to
the
here.
street
That's
on
what you're
Mrs.
saying.
LeBlanc's lot?
Right there.
Okay, because that's why I was like thinking maybe we should include that house, but if they're parking across the street, if we had her house as the no parking zone, then they wouldn't be able to park there.
On both sides.
Well, they do park in front of their house, in front of their mailbox, and then
Okay.
we cannot get in our driveway.
See, then that's why we need to
I don't know if
address
that's
that.
acceptable to.
Put that in the motion.
No.
Well, we just
This
need to
is a
make
yes
sure that
vote,
we're-
A yes vote, a junk car. So if you did that, it would work.
Not that one, though. I don't know
You
whose
can't
house
go right
that is.
across from that because you got
This
two
is the junk
no's.
car house?
No, that's the junk.
Well, I don't really care where it is, but his motion was not something that could be implemented.
Right.
Well, then right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so if we had here and there.
Right, that's it.
So you gotta word it, you gotta word it how.
Show me.
Well, I had the addresses.
Okay, but can you show it to Linda, and so we all can,
Okay.
Linda or
Yeah.
Janice?
I got
So
it.
you've
I
got the
understand
2
it.
long driveways, and just so you know, out of these 4 houses, 3 of them signed the original petition. The only one
Okay.
that didn't sign the petition was the one with the junk car.
Okay.
Linda,
I got it,
you've seen
yeah.
it? Okay, I got it. I just want to make
I
sure.
got it.
Bruce, I just need Bruce to make sure and everybody does.
You didn't change what he drew, did you?
No, well, he just shortened the lines. Is that okay?
Oh, but we have a problem, Bruce. How are you gonna do a no parking in
Here's
front of
where the
one
line
house?
is, and here's where the line is.
But Jerry corrected and put the line right here, because this house is not included. So this is where your
So
junk
go
car was.
cattywampus.
This is Ann's house.
Oh, she didn't care.
And
if
these
it
are
was
the
on
2 with the
Canal.
long driveway, Bob and Tom's house.
Believe this.
And out of these 4 houses, these 3 signed the original petition. And this is the junk car, so obviously they didn't sign the petition.
This is the point where a photograph
And I have the address.
We just need to
better than
delineate,
1,000
we need to
words.
know what we're motioning.
Oh, it's here now, huh?
Yes.
That's my
Because
motion.
that was where the junk car was. And then they signed the petition because they have a long driveway, and then Ann signed because this is where people are parking that's really causing the problem. I don't know whose house that is though, so I didn't want to include it because they may not.
We can
see
always
it.
add it.
We put that, in-
No, hold on. No, we
that's not
closed the public. We
necessary.
closed the public. Yeah, just, yep, no problem.
I put that in evidence with my motion.
So
You've got
it would start
at 543.
between 543 and 544 Trout Lane.
Yes.
And it would, the other side would be between 541 and 542 Canal Way. So the no parking area
I
would
don't
be,
think that numbering is right because Bob.
Well,
is-
numbering or not, what about delineation? I just want to know where the
Well, I want
line
to
is.
make sure you get the addresses right. Bob, you're 542?
Yes.
And you're in the corner, so is Tom Farkas 541?
Correct.
Okay, so this is 542, that's 541. So this is Bob's and that's Tom's. So I
well, we
just
can use this as long as everybody's okay with
What's,
it.
and that's your motion? Can we define it? And who, okay, and who made the second?
That's my motion.
Nobody
Oh,
seconded it
you
yet.
made the motion?
That's my motion.
Yeah,
and
I'll
I
second
put
it.
Looked at it.
Yeah, I did. I put them,
Getting
yeah, I did.
Who made the second?
Gabby seconded it.
Okay, and you're fine with it?
I'm
If
fine
you-
with it, yeah.
I need to look, I haven't seen it. Let me see
That's in
the,
Because
evidence.
it takes care of
Where-
everybody that wants it, and it takes care of everybody that doesn't want it.
Yes.
It's not in front of the houses that don't
Right
want it,
here,
it's in front of the
between
houses
these
that
two
wants it.
houses, Right here.
That's simple.
okay,
Both sides?
on both
Right.
sides.
Yeah, if I lived there, I'd be here too.
Kenneth? Can you-
Yeah,
can you
yeah.
go?
Yeah,
Starting right here? Right
yeah.
here, both sides.
yeah.
Motion, we got a motion and a second discussion. We've kind of already.
Kidding.
had- This is kind of a first that we've modified this.
I call for the
By
question.
the
Call the
address
question,
that's on
me?
the other
I call the
end,
question.
it's between there.
I'm sorry?
It would be better.
He wants a vote.
What's that?
Well,
Hold on just one second.
Bob, I'm sorry to throw all the questions at you. The house to the left of Tom, if he's in his house, to the left of him, what's the address number? Is it go in sequence?
Yes, that'd be 540.
540, so it would end between 540 and 541.
As what we just looked at.
Yeah, I just wanted.
The
attorney.
numbers, okay.
City attorney, I called the question.
Okay, we've got to take a vote.
Yeah.
That's what it means. If he
Yeah,
calls the
yeah,
question.
that's fine,
we
but
can't have any more
we're in the
discussion.
discussion, we got the motion in the second. If everybody's.
Yeah, but if somebody calls the question, the discussion's over.
Means we-
Yeah.
Yeah, it means we have to take a vote. Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I think we're all
Do
in
we need to
agreement.
clarify it out, or is everyone?
I'm good with
Just
it.
in
I
case somebody
understand it.
missed it, the motion includes both sides of the street.
Let me just show you. These
Right.
are no's, these
Yeah.
are yeses, so it'd be like that.
Yeah, I mean, we got, it says it's shown on there.
I got it.
So it's clear,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Sweet.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. All opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you.
Nice.
Dogs next.
She didn't mean anything about the golf pass.
I lost my agenda.
I supported the golf carts, you know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're moving on. Next item is to discuss partnership with R.E. Olds Transportation Museum. This was at the request of Vice Mayor Miller.
I spoke with Bill Adcock, who is the director of the museum in Lansing, Michigan, and I said to him that, you know, this city is named after R.E. Olds, and it's the only one in the country, and I think that we should have a museum. And I did speak with him on the phone 2 weeks ago. He said yes. In fact, he could send us 6 cars. I explained to him that we are doing a downtown redevelopment thing and that, I mean, this isn't going to happen immediately. So, I mean, and he understands that. He said he could send us 6 cars and they could actually, you know, we could have them for 6 months or a year and then, and have 6 more or whatever. And the logistics have to be worked out. It would take all of us to do that and him. And I got an email from Leo and Karen Stutzman, and they've already pretty much procured 2 more cars for us to put in the museum. I got an email from the great-grandson, Tom and Sandy Rowe, and they said that, well, we know where our 1918 Rio is going to go. And so, I mean, everybody's really pretty excited about this. I'm thinking that since we have the Goodrich buildings, one could be adapted. You know, this would all have to come into when we have our workshop on the 9th. It could be adapted maybe with glass front or something. It would have to accommodate, well, we have 4 of our own. So, but this would be the anchor to the downtown. People will come from all over to see these cars. And I think that it'd be a boon to our downtown area to have this museum. And yes, we have to work out the logistics, but I am really excited about it, and so are a lot of other people. And so I don't know if we need a motion to proceed with the, what would the motion be? To proceed with the, help me.
We can't proceed with anything.
We don't have
until
any,
finally-
yeah.
No.
I mean,
What?
We're gonna have to wait and see what we do with that over there.
yeah, I mean,
A motion won't work.
I mean, behind the scenes, we can continue to do whatever we want, but I don't know that we need a
We
motion
can say
to do
this,
that.
that in the future, we should continually to work towards this.
My thought is this.
Well, I'd like to see it happen while this is all being built. I
But-
mean, it has to, the buildings have to be adapted.
Well, and I think this is a
I mean, why would you tear down a building that's already there when you can just adapt it?
okay, well, I mean, structurally, we don't know if it can accommodate.
Well,
this-
those are all the logistics.
That's what, but.
That's what we
And I
have to
think this
find
is-
out.
I know, and I think this is a perfect time, and I love the idea. We've talked about the question of either we decide if we're going to embrace the Oldsmar component of that or not. And I think it's
We'd be fools
I
not
think
to.
it's a great question. I think we've got a lot of things that are forthcoming very quickly here that will allow us to determine where we may want to go with this and how we may want to proceed, who's on board, who's not. I think we're meeting with the Market Square people. This may not fit their design, and, you know.
But that's up to us.
Well, I understand that, but if it doesn't make, if them losing a huge amount of square footage does not work for them, well, I mean, I think we need to hear all these things out and see if it can be incorporated into it.
If we can't incorporate an anchor into this downtown, I think we just forget
Well,
it.
I mean, I think that's, I mean, forget what.
It's ridiculous if we can't have an anchor like this that's going to draw people from all over the state.
And I'm not- and I'm-
In the paper Sunday, they had this couple in their 80s from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, wherever the heck they were from. They came all the way up to Tarpon Springs to see the railroad museum in Tarpon Springs. People will come. What is that saying? You build it and they'll come.
I agree with you, but what we have over here is we have a vision that we're gonna have to look at in the total.
Well, this should be included in the vision.
Well, see, that's part of what we can look towards is included, but this building's coming down.
Why should it come down?
Because we have a different vision for that piece of property right now. What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with that building?
You adapt it and it fits
Adapt
into the
what?
thing.
Well, and I don't know if the question is adapted or that they build something into their design that fits. I mean,
Already there.
I understand, but
we can't
just because
use
the
that
building's there
building.
doesn't mean that.
Why? If it's adapted, why can't you use it?
Because you can't build your downtown development with that building setting right there.
I don't understand why it can't be built around it.
Well,
It depends
can be
on
part
whatever
of
the developers that take the project on are gonna want.
It's up to us.
Well, but what I'm saying is, I'm saying that that idea can be passed along to the developer, and we can say, this is what we want, so in your plan, can you
That's what I'm
please
asking
propose?
for. Do you want it?
Right, yes, we want it, but we might not, but the building might not work, so maybe it is an idea that we can bring to the developer.
And I agree, and that
All
doesn't.
I'm asking for, do you want it?
I think we want to
Do you
discuss.
want an anchor like this for the downtown?
I think we all
To,
think it's a
to
good idea.
to make this unique.
But I don't know that it necessarily, we need to lock it into that building. It might,
Oh, I'm not locking it into that building. I'm just saying the building's already there. It could be adapted. It could be adapted.
I
I'm
think-
not saying,
Janice?
I'm not the developer.
I know, because they may have a better idea if it fits at
Everybody
all.
on this council has the vision to have it here.
That's all I'm
But
asking.
not with that building. That building has to come down, and then the vision to build a new something is what we're doing, and that's why we're gonna have this meeting next week. And
Okay, that's fine.
and
I'm
if it
just,
could be incorporated in it, I agree.
the only reason I asked for this is to get a consensus. Do you guys want this?
I think everybody wants it.
Okay. So do we need,
But I think we need to, I mean, we want to make sure we do it right. We don't want to just.
Of course we want
you
to
know,
do it
and,
right.
and, you know, and I think we have two things coming up. We have the workshop for the Market Square, or Marketplace,
and we have the planning.
and then we have the planning thing. And my thought is that, you know, we all kind of ponder this, you know, it's just an agenda item tonight. We have our workshop, we see what the discussion is at the workshop, then we have our council meeting, and then it kind of determines its own fate by where it comes in the system. You know, we discuss the items and we prioritize our top 8, and if it's one of them, then we move forward, and if it doesn't, then we
First
don't.
thing we-
And I'm not saying that it will or it won't, but that's,
Well, the first thing we need to do is have our, is have our meeting
right,
on Market Square.
right.
And then that will be the preamble to whatever else we do.
But our directive to staff comes from our meeting that we have at Brooker Creek as we prioritize things. That's always the way it's been, is that however we prioritize.
That, I've been here long enough. I
No,
know
I'm
that.
not saying, I'm not questioning that, but so when we discuss it at the workshop, we discuss the things that we talk about tonight, we discuss the things that we talk about at the Market Square workshop, and we decide, you know.
Well, the way I would put it to the developer, where will this fit in? We want it, where will it fit in?
And I guess some of the questions would be, what is where? How many square feet do we need? How much? We don't know. I mean,
Is it economically feasible? They'd be more than happy to have us as a tenant in the Market Square, as a
And I don't-
person paying for a certain space. Are we going to be able to afford it? Because if a developer builds a development, well, who's going to pay for the building? Who's going to pay for all of the expenses that are going to be needed for the
We
museum?
have the land, we're giving the land.
Right, but the logistic, well, all I'm saying is that all those logistics, like the mayor said, we have to work all of that out and put it in with the planning session, exactly.
You know, and the
We all
question-
agree it's a good idea.
But-
Now we just have to work out the logistics.
and I think the discussion that we have, A, would it be something that they could accommodate? And B, how much? 6 cars takes up a lot of
Exactly.
space, you know, and,
More than 6 cars, unless we don't want him to send us that many cars.
well, that's, we
I
have.
mean, everybody wants to give us cars all of a sudden.
And which I think is great. And, you know, the question becomes funding, who pays for it, who, you know, all the logistics that go into it. It's not just, hey, we got 6 cars, can you accommodate them? What are we asking the developer to give us?
A museum.
Okay, how big? I mean, those are the things we need to kind of discuss.
Of course we need to discuss it. I only brought it up here. I've said this how many times tonight? I just want a consensus of, do you want this thing? Shall we try to get it?
I think we want to proceed with the discussion. Yes.
Everybody agrees.
We want to proceed with the
I mean,
discussion.
you're coming off with, with the prices and all this stuff. I just want to know if you
Well, I
want
know,
it
but in all
first.
fairness, originally you asked for it to be in that building and to retrofit that building.
I said, we already have a building, is what I said,
I
yes.
understand.
And it could be adapted for it.
It's not a bad idea because when you redevelop an existing building, it's greener than building a whole new one. But I think, like Jerry said, we need to see the Market Square vision on Monday, talk with the developer.
course.
Because we didn't put that in the original bid, right? We didn't say
No,
museum
doesn't.
space. So it's not going to be in there. So we have to just expect that there's not going to be a space for it in there. and
But
just
they're
work
going to
with it.
have to do what we want them to do.
No, I know.
There's 2 ways to look at this. We have a vision of Market Square, and now we've said we have a vision.
Who named it Market
Well,
Square?
Let me finish. Then we have a vision for an
Museum.
Oldsmobile
Museum.
museum. Both of them is going, you know how many years we've been working on Market Square?
Who named it Market Square all of a
The
sudden?
name is
I don't
irrelevant.
care- I don't care what the
It was
name
RE
is.
Square or whatever it was,
We've been working years on that thing.
REO
It
Speedwagon.
may have to be the same thing with the museum. We have to work this thing out. from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get to 10.
You know,
We will do that.
and I think, you know, I mean, and just throwing this out there, I mean, there are a lot of things, you know, the developer may say, we really want to have all of our stuff here. How about next door? We buy, you know, we put it, you know, we build something.
As long as it's on State Street, I don't care.
That's kind of my point. But, I mean, I think we want to discuss it moving forward, exactly how it all works out and where. I don't want to, yeah.
Well, Mayor, she's asked for a consensus. We have given it to her.
Yep. And I think we want to
That's all right.
continue.
Thank you.
Yep, I think we want to continue to discuss it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she wanted.
Okay.
And we gave it to her. We all want it.
Okay.
Except the attorney didn't say anything yet.
Well, I mean,
I mean, there's no motion to make.
There's nothing, yeah, no. I just.
It'll be a boon to the
Do you want it or
downtown.
not?
Oh, what do I want?
No. Okay, the next item is comments by council. We'll start with Mr. Beaverland.
I just have two. The first one is the firefighters in
The wildfire.
Arizona.
the 19 of them. It's just, you know, I know we can't do anything about it, but our hearts go out to them. And these guys put themselves on the line all the time.
Yes, they do.
And number two, I want to thank Marie and her, as quick as they got on to Don McCullough's email. Thank you, ma'am. Thank y'all who you are.
Vice Mayor?
I just want to tell everybody to have a wonderful 4th of July and don't drink and drive. I'm through.
And don't blow any of your digits off, huh?
That's true.
Councilmember Norris.
I would like to wish everybody a safe 4th of July as well, and remind everybody about the softball game, and hopefully the mayor's right, and we're gonna get a win. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And then I also wanted to give compliments to the Parks Department. Lynn Reeves and his crew finished the trail, and I'm one of the ones affected by the bike trail that is going to be winding all through Oldsmar. And if you're a house that's affected on phase 3 or phase 4, I can assure you that they were very respectful. They covered my driveway. They put cones. They did a great job. And so you don't have to be afraid that they're going to tear your stuff up and you're going to lose things. They were very respectful and very professional. And I want to thank you, Lynn, and your crew. Because it was a little scary having all those big equipment and everything getting torn up in my yard and everything, but it was wonderful. So that's it.
Wow. Councilmember McGee.
I just wanted to wish everyone a happy 4th of July and stay safe. And also I noticed people were out there today with the propane, I think, burning off the tar off Park. And I think it looks much better. So just thank you.
Awesome. I don't have a lot.
Thank you.
Jerry mentioned what I was. Asked Dean, sent him a text to see if he had anything that he wanted us to add or do. But it's tragic, you know. I mean, 19, and they were specialty guys that trekked up the mountain with heavy equipment to try and fight the fire to save people. And you know, when you think about 19 people, that's like losing our entire fire department, you know, in one foul swoop. And
Fire department.
you know, that's dads and sons and daughters and whoever else they may have affected and left behind. So, you know, our hearts definitely go out to those families out there. And I don't really have anything else other than you've already mentioned it, that we're going to kick the sheriff's department's rear end. It is a fun time, and I got to tell you, if you've never been, I go on sometimes on Tuesday nights for Dollar Hot Dog Night, but it's a fun time out there. It's a great event. Bright House Field, if you've never been, it's a fun experience for the kids. If you've got kids, they've got playground, inflatable stuff, and it's just a fun family night out, and the money goes to a great cause, and then you get the Thrashers game and the fireworks afterwards. So if you have a chance, where do they, Chamber, they get tickets? What about us, City Hall? No?
We have tickets.
City Hall or at the field or the Chamber. So other than that, I need a motion to approve the tentative agenda.
Mayor,
Oh, sorry.
I just want to thank the city manager and the 1993 council. Remember when the little girl named Odom,
Yes. Jennifer.
Jennifer Odom, she was, they haven't found her yet. In 1993, she disappeared in front of her house. And so I had a granddaughter at the time, and it struck me really got me. I don't think the city manager really agreed with me back then in 1993, but I asked the council to, because there was awards being put forth, and I asked the council if the city of Oldsmar would consider putting it, contributing to the award for anything that would lead to her.
Reward, you mean? Reward.
Reward, I'm sorry. And the council did put up $1,000. And I look back on it, that was probably something I should never have asked, but it was emotional for me, and we were the only city that did that.
Is that right?
Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah. You'd like to think
I've
that.
agreed with everything since then, haven't I? Also.
And just so Deputy Sierra knows, we just made a motion that we have already won the game 5-0. I hit a home run. It's already in the books. We've already made it. He's writing the resolution. It's done. Don't leave anymore.
Thing is, actually, how many council members are playing?
Probably none.
That's a cinch I can't.
Just me. Are you playing, Drake?
Hey, I sponsored.
I'm not sure I'm gonna be out there yet, but I'm a pretty good catcher, aren't I? Am I? I got two heads going up and down. I don't know yet. I mean, I tell you what, I about had a heat stroke out
It's
there.
hot out there. Definitely make sure that you stay hydrated. I don't care what you hydrate with.
I could not play
but-
the last inning. The heat
Yeah.
got so bad to me. So we'll see.
Okay. Need a motion to approve the tentative agenda. Need a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.